This is a preview for the Shawn Ryan show. Tony Cowden is his episode is going to be premiering on August 28th. I watched the preview for this interview, and Shawn Ryan asked this gentleman, in hindsight, if he felt like we're the bad guys. And I feel like the fact that a Navy SEAL, an operator that was over in these areas, who has now become, he's grown as a person and is now asking these questions. I find that to be beautiful. I find that to be a beautiful story of human growth. Him and I are likely around the same age because he was 19 when Iraq happened, and we were invading, and I was graduating high school right around the same time. I was recruited and had some offers made, and I was like, I'm not going over to fight over oil. I had read enough at that point to know that it was Saudi terrorists. There was connections with Yemen and some other countries, but the one country that had nothing to do with it is Iraq. And with all the information that's coming out, I'm very glad that I made that decision, because while a lot of people did make it home, there were people that came home forever changed, disabled, and in some cases they lost their lives over there. And so I think that, him highlighting this is important. It's important that Americans listen and understand that this is how members of the military, who at the time were gung-ho for these operations, this is how they view them in hindsight.
So I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me, and one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq."
Everyone's a little confused about it. They're like, wait a second, I thought we were going to Somalia. What about Yemen, where the terrorists are at? Like, nope, Iraq, weapons of mass destruction. And we all knew better, man.
This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know."
We went to war with Iraq.
Man, I was young. I was 19, just maybe 20, just getting into the team, and I had no idea. I was all about it.
Oh, I was still all about it, even though, because they were bad people, and Saddam was a horrible person, and I didn't understand geopolitics at all at the time, and how toppling a dictator, right? Dictators are predictable.
Power vacuum.
I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments."
Secretary Rumsfeld, as you know, we are in serious trouble in Iraq, and this war has been consistently and grossly mismanaged.
Well, they're not horrible enemies. I mean, if they go, I guess, slaughtering their own people and stuff, yeah, step in and, hey, stop doing that.
We are now in a seemingly intractable quagmire. Our troops are dying, and there really is no end in sight. And the American people, I believe, deserve leadership worthy of the sacrifices that our fighting forces have made.
Well, that is quite a statement.
I'm talking to the helicopter, checking text messages, doing comms, blah, blah, and all of a sudden my bro goes and jumps. And I look at him and his eyes are this big, and I'm like this, and right next to my window is an AK muzzle.
By that time, we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, are we still going to war with Iraq? And he said, oh, it's worse than that.
We shut their oil production down so prices would go up. And all of the oil folks, BP, British Petroleum, Exxon, name them, they all got rich.
He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years.
I think General Wesley Clark did an interview in like 2007, maybe 8, whatever. If you...
The largest organized crime family in this country is the government. I mean, this is the mafia. And everybody knows that Raytheon and Boeing and General Dynamics, big defense contractors, make money when we go to war. But when we go to war over oil, big oil makes out too. So, are you starting to notice a pattern here? The US government uses its military to enrich corporations, which then in turn enrich the politicians, fund their campaigns, keep them in power, prop them up, sow discontent, fund propaganda, confuse you, divide you, make your life shittier, while their quality of life goes through the fucking roof. And every time they show the halls of Congress or the Senate or any of these people, it's all old fucking men. Old men from a different time, from a different generation, who have had a lifetime to become compromised, disillusioned, angry, corrupt. I don't understand why people are so afraid of what they tell you that you obey them. Do you understand how dangerous what they're doing is to your future? Why are you not scared of them? Why are you not scared of them remaining in power? Why are you scared that if they go away, things are going to get bad? Things get bad because of them. This is why I'm saying, vote them out. Vote them all out. I'm not just talking about America. Vote them out in the UK. Vote them out in Germany. Vote them out everywhere. Anywhere you've got free elections and you got a voice and you're feeling like you're not being represented, like you're being held down, like you're having shit shoved down your throat that you don't give a shit about, and you're being told that you're ignorant and you're a bigot and you should shut up and go along with it, go to the voting booth. Cast your ballot against anybody who's ever said anything like that to you. Cast it against all of them. I don't care who they are. Get rid of the whole structure. Get new people in there, and we'll figure it out as we go.
Google, YouTube search, General Wesley Clark, 7 Nation War, I think, will get you the YouTube.
I said, is it classified? He said, yes, sir.
And they were pot-shotting us at this point. You know, they weren't 100% sure what they were dealing with. Wake up, man, wake up. I've been asking for help. Contact, asking for help. They know. And I'm looking and here comes these dudes. They're like, oh, opportunity. So I'm just like, yeah.
Mr. Secretary, I'm talking about the misjudgments and the mistakes that have made the series which I've mentioned, the disarming of the Iraqi army. Those were judgments that were made, and there have been a series of gross errors and mistakes. Those are on your watch. Those are on your watch. Isn't it time for you to resign?
It wasn't until 3 or 4 buildings later that I realized I had also been shot in my fucking emitter.
Oh.
I'm talking on a radio that doesn't work. And I left my cell phone on a Velcro patch on the dash of the car.
Shit.
So now I got no comms. His buddy runs up behind him keeps going past the little alleyway, and I hear him hitting the brakes. He saw me out of the peripheral vision, and he came back and poked his head around the corner. So I dumped him. You know, I guess.
Do you think we're the bad guys? Just honest question. And I've been thinking a lot about this lately.
I think there are a lot of bad people in our government.
Senator, I've offered my resignation to the president twice, and he's decided that he would prefer that he not accept it, and that's his call.
You look at the world, and you look at all the shit that the U.S. has intervened in, and now, you know, with the way the internet and the access to information we have, it's starting to paint another picture.
Episode 72, August 28th. This is going to continue until changes are made. They're not going to stop. There's too much money at stake. The system is self-propagating, self-feeding. So pay attention to the decisions that are being made now and the rumors that you're hearing about war and what's coming. And understand that most of the time it's for rich people to get richer and for poor people to die and make a lot of sacrifices. So this is what I'm saying. Like, what are we waiting for? Why? These people have proven over and over and over and over again that they are not good stewards of our freedom, of the government, of the money that they have. There's a lot of evil and corruption, and it's in the leadership. I'm not the only one saying this. These are heroes. These are legitimate, bona fide American heroes that went and did what they were told. Maybe they have some regret and that they're experiencing, you know, some hesitation and being as proud about it as they once were. But they were asked to do something for this country, and they did it. They went over and they spent the time over there. They did the tasks that they were told needed to be done for America, for us, for our freedom. And as more information comes out, they find themselves saying, "Are we the bad guys?" And that's a question that I've asked myself multiple times. And usually I'm erring on the side of probably with great power. You know, I don't agree with the academic definition of racism. It's power plus privilege. But I will say that in the world, oppression can only happen if you have power. And who has more power and military might to foist our way of life on others, to take what they have, whether that's resources or anything we want, land, resources, leaders out of position that don't agree in the line and cooperate, you just snatch them out. And I mean, Russia's no better. Wagner Group chief just got plane crashed. Oops. How did that happen? Jeez, you make enemies with Putin, suddenly your plane falls out of the sky. That's really friggin' weird. It's not a mystery, folks. It's right in front of your eyes. All you need to do, stop believing what you're being told and start believing what you see, what you know. Trust your gut, trust your heart, trust your brain. You're just as smart as those idiots in Congress and Senate and everywhere else. They're not infallible, they're not magic. They're just regular people with regular problems and regular evil in their heart. Take care. I love you guys. Talk to you soon.